It was the Jahmyr Gibbs show tonight. Lions are 6-2.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And what's happening, everybody? Matt Derry with you. It is a Monday night edition and a post-game pod edition of Locked On Lions right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day, Monday night into Tuesday morning and a Halloween, October 31st. Lions win tonight down at Ford Field, 26-14 over the Las Vegas Raiders to go into the bye week at 6-2. Raiders drop to 3-5. Exciting game downtown. I was down there tonight. We'll get into all the stuff that went on at Ford Field tonight. What an atmosphere and environment. Oh, my goodness gracious. Jahmyr Gibbs, what can you say about him? We'll get into that tonight. We'll hand out some game balls. Got to talk about the defense because they continue to come up big this evening and kind of rescue the offense from some sloppy red zone offense. But regardless, the Lions win. And now the bye week comes at a great time. The Detroit's, bouncing back from this loss to the Ravens and playing good football tonight, and they get it done in front of a packed house, 26-14 over the Raiders. Thanks for making us your first listen. Checking us out wherever you get your podcasts. I got to give a shout out first and foremost to Turner Batdorf. Turner is a great, great guy, and he's the one that invited me. He's the one that got us the 222 Rod Wood sign years ago, last year, and transplanted Lions fan. His family's from here, but he lives down in Texas. And Turner is an A-plus guy and said, hey, look, we're coming up for the Monday night game. We want you in the suite with us. And I was there tonight with them. I got my little wristband here from the Plant Moran Suites. Really nice, really enjoyable. His father, Jody Batdorf. Oh my gosh, Jody is just the best. So shout out to Turner and Jody. Mama Batdorf. We need you up here next time. Anthony Harris, Terry, Joe Batdorf, and Tim Batdorf. We appreciate you. And my guy Shane Rutman in the suite next to us. He was worried about the Lions and the over all night. I don't even know what the over-under was, but he was very upset with all the field goals because it ruined his over. But Shane was a listener, and we appreciate his time. I ran into a bunch of people down there tonight. My boy Josh Pippen, his wife Katie are Raider fans. I saw them tonight. My boy Nathan Liska. I was going to see Dirt Jordan tonight, former Lion who was there for Lomas. Shout out to Lomas. Congrats on that halftime and getting into the pride of the Lions. That was great. But what a win tonight for the Lions, and was wearing my One Pride from a Questionable Tees t-shirt. But listen, here's the bottom line. And here's what I love. You get the trade deadline tomorrow, and the Lions are at 6-2, right there with Philly, atop the NFC, half game back or whatever it is, game back. And I look at it this way. All right. You can follow us on Twitter at Derry Speaks, at Locked On Lions, Matt Derry Facebook fan page, and please subscribe and watch us on YouTube. Here's what I'm going to say. This team, all right, is good. And yeah, they played a lousy team tonight, whatever. Garoppolo stinks. The Raider offense is a joke. Devontae Adams wants out. Josh Jacobs says, I can't fix the offense. It's not my job. Like, they're bad. All right. But the Lions can play better. The Lions are getting better and can still play better and still won a Monday night football game. All right, I don't care who they played. Monday night football game at Ford Field, first time that's happened, right? That they've been under the big lights Monday night since 2018. And despite all the things that sometimes went against them, like poor play calling in the red zone, like a missed chip shot field goal, like the pick six that Goff threw across the field, which there was some miscommunication with St. Brown. The Lions are finding ways to win. All right. Special teams is getting it done. Patterson hit a long field goal tonight. Jack Fox had some good punts. Guys are making tackles. The pass rush in the first half really wasn't getting home. Second half, Aaron Glenn makes some adjustments. They send the house. They blitz Garoppolo. You had J-Mo with a drop tonight, then came back and made a nice play. But they're finding ways to win. And they're getting better, but they can even play better, if that makes any sense. They're not chucking the ball deep down the field. It's a lot of dink and dunk. It's a lot of short stuff, but it's working. I see you working, is what Jim Rome used to say. Jared Goff has just been solid. Tonight's pick six was bad. All right, I get that. By Peter stepping in front. Did he look like Charles Woodson going on the sidelines wearing the white uniform number 24? But otherwise, Goff was economical again. And you go into this game without Jonah Jackson, without Frank Ragnow. You got to move Graham Glasgow, who started the year on the bench, from right guard to center. You've got Coyote Owoshika playing left guard, and you've got Colby Sorsdal playing right guard. It's almost like Halapoulivanti Vaitai doesn't exist anymore. And they're throwing Owoshika and Sorsdal and Glasgow at center. And give Graham Glasgow credit. That's tough. Those are big shoes to fill playing for Frank Ragnow, who's got the ankle and toe injury. And they did just fine. You're playing without David Montgomery, without Seedy Deuce, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, whatever his name is now. They've got injuries. And yet, there's Laporta flashing for a touchdown. There's Amon-Ra, the quietest 100-yard receiving game of his life. Here's Jahmyr Gibbs, getting man-sized carries tonight and just breaking ankles, breaking off long runs. 152 yards for the rookie tonight on 26 carries. He averaged 6 yards a carry, also had a touchdown, also caught 5 passes for 37 yards. You absolutely love to see it. And what was the stat that I saw tonight? It was the Lions record tonight for a rookie running back from Jahmyr Gibbs. If I can find it, my man Ross Jackson sent it to me. Drew Porsche wrote on X, Jahmyr Gibbs is the first Lions rookie to have 100+ yards rushing, 25+ yards receiving, and score a touchdown in a home game ever. How about that? I mean, Barry Sanders didn't do that. But what you liked about Jahmyr Gibbs was the patience, the outside speed, and just outrunning people. And on the touchdown, now he did do like a Ford Field leap into the stands. And usually the guy's just around the railing and everybody passed. No, he went over the railing into the stands. It was in the front row with this couple, and this woman's hugging him and stuff. It was awesome. Absolutely awesome. And Jahmyr Gibbs has made major strides the last 2 weeks. And yes, people were worried about him. People drafted him high in fantasy. What's going on with Gibbs? It's a first-year player. It's a rookie. Needing to learn, needing to know how to run behind certain offensive linemen, needing to get up to speed on the speed of the NFL game, right? We've talked about being patient with Jameson Williams and trying to get him up and running. It's obvious that Ben Johnson has the same patience with Jahmyr Gibbs. It's starting to pay off. And think about when they get David Montgomery back from this rib injury, how much better they're going to be. That's going to be one heck of a 1-2 punch. Gibbs tonight was incredible. He saved the day because, settling for field goals early, red zone mistakes. I don't know what Ben Johnson was doing on some of these second and long calls in the red zone with the running plays when the Raiders knew it was coming. Lions, yes, led. What was it? 9-0. Hang on. I'm trying to remember because again, I was at the game, so bear with me. Yeah. 9-0 on 3 Riley Patterson field goals. 2 of them were, 33 yards and in. And then Patterson hit that big 52-yarder. So again, the Lions can be better with their red zone offense, but what you just love to see is Jared Goff spreading it around. You had St. Brown, Laporta, Gibbs, Khalif Raymond, J-Mo, Josh Reynolds, Craig Reynolds, and Brock Wright all caught passes tonight. Laporta had the touchdown catch from Jared Goff. Gibbs, of course, the touchdown run, and then all the Riley Patterson field goals tonight. Riley hit 4 out of 5, but missed the chip shot late, which kind of left the door open for the Raiders. But the Lions defense was not going to be denied tonight. They were not. And it was a heck of a game. It was fun. I want to get into the crowd. I gotta talk about it. And also the defense, and we'll do that coming up next. We're also going to hand out some game balls as well. 26-14 Lions over the Raiders tonight. It's our post-game pod right here on Locked On Lions, right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. And going to tell you about our friends at eBay Motors. Do I not? Yes, I do. Because our partners at eBay Motors have teamed up with the Locked On Fantasy Football podcast host, Vinny Iyer, to bring you some of the best fantasy picks each week. We do it every week, all season long. Whether you're prepping for a daily draft or scouting the waiver wire, every week, we are going to provide you with players that are guaranteed to fit on your roster. My guy Turner Batdorf told me tonight he plays in 8 fantasy leagues. Turner, hope you're listening. So let's see who Vinny has picked out for us in this week's installment of eBay's Guaranteed Fit Fantasy Picks of the Week. And here's an interesting one from Vinny for this week. Bills rookie tight end Dalton Kincaid has stepped into a big role with Dawson Knox getting hurt. He's gotten hot with Josh Allen the past 2 weeks, scoring for the first time in his career in Week 8 against the Buccaneers last Thursday night. Kincaid gets a smash spot in a shootout against the Bengals this coming Sunday night. Cincinnati's been better in coverage outside and versus wideouts than versus tight end. So Kincaid will once again come through for managers looking for a midseason pick-me-up at the position. Dalton Kincaid of the Bills. Vinny Iyer from Locked On Fantasy Football is going to help you win your fantasy championship in eBay Motors. Knows the championship team is about each player being a perfect fit. Same with your vehicle. All right. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you can make sure your ride stays running smoothly. Brake kits, LED headlights, roof rack, bumpers, whatever your baby needs, eBay Motors has it. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time or your money back. Plus, at these prices, come on, you're burning rubber, not cash. ebaymotors.com. Go there now. Enjoy your ride. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Easy to navigate website. eBay Guaranteed Fit, only available to U.S. customers. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. All right, Locked On Lions post-game pod. Lions are 6-2. Man, we were all doing so much hand-wringing after last week's loss to the Ravens. But I told you, Lions come back and bounce back against the Raiders. Go into the bye week at 6-2. Chargers up next out in L.A. in 2 weeks. I think you would take that as a Lions fan at 6-2. Let me say this about Lions fans. I'm not going to call them Lions Nation. It's One Pride or whatever. So you can see with my shirt. But seriously, you guys are unbelievable. All right. I got down there tonight to Ford Field, try to get there as early as I could. And just the jerseys and the energy in that building. And, an hour and a half before the game, concourse is packed. People chanting, "Let's go Lions." All right. I told you guys last week, I was going to the Colts game on Sunday against the Saints. And I did. I was at Lucas Oil yesterday. And then the Lions game tonight. And look, Lucas Oil Stadium is awesome. It's bigger. It's more spacious than Ford Field. But the fans there, and I know the Colts stink, all right? Indy's not good, all right? They're 3-5. But it's not even a comparison to the hunger, the passion, the noise level tonight inside Ford Field coming from this fan base. And I know how hungry you guys are. And I was sitting in that stadium tonight in that suite level, Plant Moran across from the Lions bench. I look up right above me, 1993. Central Division champs, last banner that they really could hang, last division championship. I didn't realize that the Lions won the 1957 Western Division. Anyway, the place is just electric. It really is. And Jack Harlow is there tonight. He's going to be singing at halftime or rapping at halftime at Thanksgiving. I'm a Jack Harlow fan. I think he does a good job. But the crowd was great tonight. From the get-go, anytime the Raiders were pinned back deep, Garoppolo in his own end zone, everything else, the place was going nuts. Those third down signs, everybody had one in the lower bowl, and they were waving them. It was the Lions put on a good production tonight, and the crowd was great. Not good, great. It's like a college environment. And I get it. This fan base is starving. And so they're going to go and support. And I know the other teams in town have not been so good as of late. Now, the Wings have gotten off to a good start. Same with the Pistons, although they lost tonight. And, the Tigers have been crap forever. But, man, it was fun tonight. It really was. And, Raider fans were there. Glad I didn't see any, nastiness or fighting. Only beef I have is that Ford Field garage is just interesting, to say the least. But we got out of there. But, man, crowd was awesome tonight. How about this defense? Now, look, Garoppolo is he just can't move. All right. He is what he is. He is so average. He can't throw the ball down the field. So everything's short. 10 out of 21 tonight, 126 yards, a passer rating from Jimmy G of 46.9. All right. Jared Goff was at an 89.0, and that's with a pick 6 in there. Garoppolo was also sacked 6 times, but give credit to the Lions secondary first and foremost, and I'll hand out some game balls, but I really thought Jerry Jacobs and Cam Sutton did a great job. What a pickup by Brad Holmes targeting in free agency Cameron Sutton from the Steelers. He is a legit number 1 corner. He is. Now, again, Devontae Adams had a big drop tonight, but he caught 1 ball for 11 yards with 7 targets. Jacoby Myers tonight, 1 catch, 19 yards. That's it, right? The corners did an excellent job. Defense continues to, tonight they were in the right spots tonight as opposed to last Sunday. And I get it. It's last Sunday was Lamar Jackson and Gus the Bus and all Mark Andrews, and the Raiders don't have anything like that. But still, short fields at times, mistakes at times by the offense, allowing the Raiders to, have opportunities. And the Lions defense was stingy. Alex Anzalone's all over the field. Aleem McNeil tonight, everywhere. They bothered Garoppolo. They got chunked for 1 drive that led to the Josh Jacobs touchdown. But other than that, Jacobs, 15 carries, 61 yards. Lions held the Raiders below 100 yards. So that's 7 out of 8 games this year. The Lions defense has held the other team to 100 yards or less on the ground. That's where you win games. And future head coach Aaron Glenn, adjustments, halftime. Garoppolo's got too much time to throw, first half. Second half, started blitzing, threw Anzalone out on the edge at times, and it worked. So you love to see that. You like to see the bounce back from this defense. And look, I know the Raiders offense is a mess. I know Renfro's pissed. I know Devontae's mad. I know Josh Jacobs isn't happy. Those guys all signed up to play with Derek Carr. All right, and he's gone. Saw him play in person yesterday for the Saints against the Colts. He looked pretty good. But still, regardless, you have to go out and still make plays and not, grab and hold and make penalties and everything else. The Lions played a pretty clean game tonight for the most part and came away with the win. So you love to see that. 26-14 tonight at Ford Field. Man, that was fun. You want to go back after a game like that. Like I said, I don't go to a lot of games because I like hunkering down here, hearing the TV broadcast, doing my prep, getting ready to do podcasts and bring you guys this content. But tonight was great. It was great to be there and just soak in the environment. This is a town that is starving, dying for this team to do well. Saw some standing room tonight, and there will be more as the season goes on. Can you imagine? I remember that when the Lions clinched the playoffs a few years ago against the Chargers at home, Cliff Averill had a big sack. I think it was a strip sack or a pick or something. And crowd was just in a frenzy, and the place went crazy. Well, imagine that place later on in the year getting ready to clinch the division, and it's going to happen. There was an F the Packers chant in the fourth quarter. Packers made no sense, but it was funny. And now the Kirk Cousins, unfortunately, and you hate to see this because he's having a nice year, but Kirk Cousins out for the year with a torn Achilles. Was it Jaron Hall will be quarterback in the Vikings? I mean, come on. This division is so there for the taking. Green Bay is a mess. They're terrible. They got quarterback problems. The Bears, oh my God. The Bears, did anybody watch this? I don't want to go away from the Lions, but did anybody watch Sunday Night Football last night? You can't tell me the Bears didn't feed Chris Collinsworth and whisper in his ear some stuff about Justin Fields. Collinsworth was going off on Justin Fields. Tyson Bagent throws one good pass, this D2 backup. And they're like, oh, Justin Fields should learn. Chris Collinsworth said, Justin Fields should learn from Tyson Bagent on how to go through his progressions. I'm like, oh my God. We know where that's coming from. That's coming from the top. They've failed Justin Fields. The coaching staff has. Not that Fields is that good, but they failed him. And then now they're throwing him under the bus, and the NBC color analyst is destroying him. They're a mess. Vikings are a mess because they're hurt. And I got news for Brad Holmes. Lob a call to your buddy with the Vikings, whom you've made deals with in the past, and see what you can get for Danielle Hunter. Could you imagine putting Danielle Hunter opposite Aiden Hutchinson? Go do it. Go for it. Go for it. Jalen Johnson wants out of Chicago. Go get him. Cornerback wants out. Go get him. Yeah, Jerry Jacobs playing well. Cam Sutton too. Add to your team. Gardner Johnson's out for the year. Mosley's out for the year. I would do it. Go get one of these people. Tomorrow, trade deadline. I hope the Lions are busy. I don't want to mess with the apple cart, but add to your team. Why not? It's time. Go for it. Lions are right there in the NFC. All right, let's tell you about DoorDash, ladies and gentlemen. Did the game go to a timeout? Time to order in with DoorDash. What about halftime tonight? Ordering time, 2-minute warning, all of the above. You got it. That's your cue to order in and where you want to go to get groceries. You want to go to get food. You want to get your best restaurant, whatever it is, pizza, wings, soda, burgers. Heck, order just buns if you want on DoorDash and get it all delivered to your home without missing the game. Order chips, dips, nachos, or everything you need to make sure your own nachos on DoorDash get all delivered with it without missing the game. DoorDash is the best. Here's the thing, and I was talking about this last week. I'm a big National Coney Island guy. Don't get me wrong. I like Leo's too. I like them all. If I want National, and I want that honey, I can get it from DoorDash. Call, you go to the app, you put a National Coney Island in. It's great. Get prepared for game day. Stock up on your favorite appetizers. Order all your tailgate gear on DoorDash. Then get ready to watch your team win like we did tonight. Get 50% off up to $10 value when you spend $15 or more on your first order when you download the DoorDash app and enter code LOCKED23. Subject to change. Terms apply. It is DoorDash. All right. Lions win 26-14 over the Raiders tonight. There was something about seeing those all white with the silver and black. There's something about the Raiders. Raider Nation, Black Hole. Something about beating the Raiders that was fun tonight. Let's discuss, shall we, game balls. Who should get game balls? Well, first and foremost, I'm going to cheat, and I rarely do this, but I'm going to cheat. Dan Campbell gave game balls to Jerry Jacobs and Cam Sutton tonight for shutting down the Raiders receivers. So I will do the same. Jacobs and Sutton were terrific tonight. Absolutely fantastic. Jerry Jacobs had 2 tackles tonight and also a quarterback hit. And Cam Sutton had 1 tackle tonight. They didn't get him for any passes defended. Those guys were everywhere tonight. They just shut down the Raider corners. Cam Sutton, to me, is a Pro Bowler. And they deserve game balls. Jahmyr Gibbs, what can you say about him? Game ball tonight. Broke off a 27-yard touchdown run. 26 carries, 152 yards, and the touchdown. 189 total yards because he caught 5 balls for 37 yards. Starting to find creases in the defense. I like that Ben Johnson put him in some different spots tonight, pitching out wide, had him go in motion, and then threw him kind of a throwback, a bubble screen, and then he cut it back. Jahmyr Gibbs, tonight was your night, buddy. A huge night for the rookie from Alabama. Gets a game ball tonight. What about Amon-Ra St. Brown? Illness, didn't feel well, still went out there, still caught 6 balls for 108 yards, including that 44-yard catch. They tried to throw him a little lateral pass that he was going to throw into the end zone. That would have been crazy. But I loved what Amon-Ra St. Brown did tonight. I'm not giving him a game ball, but what about, come on, Craig Reynolds tonight, 14 for 74. Alex Anzalone gets a game ball. Aleem McNeil gets a game ball. Alex tonight, 7 tackles, 5 solo, 2 sacks, 3 TFLs, and a couple of quarterback hits. BFF of Robert Banker, Alex Anzalone. Aleem McNeil tonight was really good. Big pass deflection that was nearly picked. Love that tonight. 4 tackles, 2 solo, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss. At one point, Aleem McNeil just threw Garoppolo to the ground. He had a good game tonight as well. How about a Broderick Martin sighting tonight? How about that? That was interesting. Onzarike and Bugs not active tonight, but yet there was Broderick Martin out there. A lot of Josh Paschal too. All right, Lions win 26-14. Bye week this week. We'll have shows all week and then get you ready next week for the Chargers. But thanks for making us your first listen, checking us out wherever you get your podcast. Shout out to our everydayers who are out there. Thanks again to the Backdoor fam for having me tonight. My wife and I had a great time at the game. Lions win 26-14, knocking off the Raiders, 6-2. And we'll see where they move up in the power rankings now that the Niners are a complete bleep show and have lost their last 3. You want to talk about a GM that's going to be busy trying to find cornerbacks and defensive linemen? John Lynch tomorrow too from the Niners. All right. We'll talk to you again tomorrow on trade deadline day. See ya.